Hey everyone, welcome to the Fandom Zone. I'm Trent, and we are checking out the huge, and I cannot emphasize, huge enough, Absolute Carnage from Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. This book, it is priced at $7.99 US, which translated to $15 Australian, but it is worth every penny and cent. This has been building up since Donny took over the title, and this whole book, if you follow Donny on Twitter, he's very open about the entire process. It took 6 months to actually write issue 1, and it's worth it. $7.99, that is a lot, and the price of comics is something that is, questioned a hell of a lot, but it's thick. It is thick with 2 C's. Get rid of that K. It's 3 issues in one, essentially, and the way it is segmented, it is broken up into 3 different chapters, and they are virtually each chapter is a comic. So you've got 3 parts, the Godson, each with an individual title that is breaking up the actual title. The pacing of this book is fantastic. Venom has been separated from his symbiote, and Carnage, Cletus Kasady, has been revived by the cult of Carnage, who are worshippers. He's been imbued with the dragon symbiote that has ties to Knull, and this book does a great job of catching readers up if they are new to the series and think, oh my god, this art looks amazing, and they want to know more about what's going on. The first couple of pages do a really good recap and summary, and then boom, Donny hits straight into the narrative, which does not feel forced, it does not feel rushed, it flows really, really well. They use the page count to their advantage here. So it is broken up into 3 different stages. The first is where we learn about Carnage as the actual threat. The second, Eddie goes to, he's actually rescued by Venom in a subway station, and goes to see Peter Parker, who then come up with a plan, and they learn about how Carnage has been able to, build this, amass this army via the Codex. He's targeting symbiotes. They have a good meeting with the Maker, and then they try to get Prime Target number 1, which is a great callback to Amazing Spider-Man, which finished with the Red Goblin, and I'm not going to say any more. So, targeting all people with symbiotes, it's a freaking fun book. Ryan Stegman's art is just absolutely, it's ridiculous. It is hyper detailed. I recommend following them on Twitter because Stegman posts the original sketches and you get to see just how intricate his art is. It is horrific. It is terrifying. The new design of Carnage is something straight out of nightmares, like having the spinal column just absolutely showing and the ribs. I loved this book. It is fun. There's some good banter between Eddie Brock and his son, who doesn't know that he's his son. He thinks he's his brother, and Spidey. But it shows the situation that they are in, and that Carnage is seemingly unbeatable. If I had to attribute the first chapter to anything, think of the ending of John Wick 2 and the start of John Wick 3, where Keanu's actually, on the run, and you get to see all the people following him around and waiting for that time limit to go off. You get that sense of dread and that sense of eyes everywhere starting off. The coloring, it's desolate, it's glowing, it's got that seedy kind of New York underbelly. And yeah, it's just really, I'm absolutely loving this as a start. If you haven't been reading the Venom series coming up, that Donny has been doing, I strongly recommend picking that up because that ties in a lot of different elements and it's really, really fun. Stegman actually does a nice little call to Peter's apartment, which names him 616, which I liked as well. But there's a lot in this. It's a lot to comprehend, but it all makes sense, and none of it, if you are a new reader, none of it is going to seem alien to you. It's all really, really put down onto the page, and you get to see it all play out in what seems to be real time. It seems to be almost episodic the way it's done, and I cannot talk highly enough of this book. The banter, the characterization, and just the overall tone. Donny has absolutely nailed this book, and for his first major event, if you don't like events, you will like this. It's only going to be a 4-issue series, but the fact that this utilizes the page count of 3 issues in one, it's essentially a 7-issue series, and it's not going to be rushed. So I have a lot of hopes for this. This has set up a very interesting premise and a very, very menacing Cletus Kasady. If you are not a fan of symbiotes, you will be after this. They use the symbiotes sparingly, and they make it seem like they aren't overdone like they were with Venomverse and what was the other one? Venomized. So it is going to be very, very interesting to see how that all plays in, and it is very much like a horror comic, and it is amazing. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on Absolute Carnage. There's a ton of variants, and if you are interested in who is running it, it is Donny Cates, the writer, Ryan Stegman, penciler. The inker is JP Mayer, who does a great job inking. It sets the tone really, really well as well, and it doesn't hinder Stegman's art. Colorist Frank Martin, and the letterer Clayton Cowles. So yeah, it's a great book. Picked up the Art Germ variant as well. You have to get Art Germ. Stanley, he's amazing. And there's a whole lot of different variants as well. So Gabriel Delotto has one. Diodato has one. It's just, yeah, this is going to be a big event that everyone is talking about for a long time. Absolute Carnage 1 in your stores now. Pick it up. I guarantee it is going to probably, most likely, almost definitely sell out. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on Absolute Carnage. What were some of the developments you liked? Are you happy with the way it's going? Are you excited? Are you very, very keen? Do you think Eddie is going to come out on top, or is something terrible going to happen? I think something terrible is going to happen. Anyway, I'm Trent, and you're watching the Fandom Zone.